What's up, people? It's your girl, Adeola. So, did you hear about what happened in Nigeria last weekend? Che, 187 people were killed in a gunfight between soldiers and Boko Haram at Baga in Borno. 187 innocent souls, my people, in one day. 77 others were also injured, and more than 2,000 houses set ablaze. You see, in a so-called democratic country, and we are now at war. You see, do you know that later that week, government officials they said, no, it was not 187 people. There's a mistake somewhere. For some reasons, government officials in Nigeria, they never give the actual number of casualties. I don't know why. They always reduce it by more than half. So they said that it's only 30 people. But then they said that of these 30 people, 25 of them were Boko Haram members and 6 of them were civilians, and there was only 1 soldier. I said, wait a minute. That is already more than 30 now. 25 plus 6 plus 1, that is already 32. You see why it's not good to lie. Even the Red Cross supported the claims of the local residents that said that they buried about 200 people, 200 civilians in one day. Did I hear somebody say, Boko Haram again? Didn't they give them amnesty? Yes, so they did. I mean, they begged them, to receive amnesty. Yes, they begged. When they realized, after 3 years, when they realized that they can't tame Boko Haram, they decided to give them amnesty. Yes, these people killed more than 3,000 innocent souls. In so many cases, they wiped away a whole family, which is why the whole amnesty thing is a funny idea to begin with. Because you don't pardon somebody that you don't have power over. And it is very clear, my people, that Nigerian government doesn't have power over Boko Haram. And even Boko Haram knows that they don't have power over them, which is why they rejected the amnesty at first. Boko Haram said that the Nigerian government should be the one asking for amnesty. You see trouble. They said Nigerian government should be the one begging for amnesty. Anyway, just before these killings, and Boko Haram announced that they said they accept amnesty, that they are ready to dialogue with the government. So right after that, in Baga, some of the members of Boko Haram were taunting the soldiers. So they fired at these soldiers. They said, hey, we now have amnesty. There's nothing. If you do anything, there's nothing you can do to us. And that triggered something in the minds of this. Nigerian soldiers don't play. They don't play. That made them so angry. They went and reinforced themselves. And then they came back firing at everybody and anybody, including animals. Before you know it, there were dead bodies everywhere. Corpses of women and children, innocent people, civilians, my people. Their dead bodies filled the streets of Baga, the creeks, even the bushes. Now, many people have no food because even markets were burnt down that day. But the sad thing, yes, is that Mr. President, yes, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, bless it, he didn't say a word. He didn't say a word until the media started shouting, won't you say anything? Won't you? Guess what? He set up a committee to do a full-scale investigation. Another committee, and which one is a full-scale investigation? Oyibo. Didn't I tell you guys, was it not last week that I told you that whenever something happens in another country, that is the only time that Mr. President is moved? If it happens in Nigeria, it's not a big deal. Like when 3 people died in America last week, remember he sent his condolence like that same day, quick. But 187 people were killed in one day in his own country, and all he did was set up a committee. Is there anything that this man doesn't do without a committee? Does he even make his own decisions? I'm starting to wonder. I mean, there has to be a committee that decides the kind of food that he eats. I know the members of that committee are embezzling our money, yes, because that is the 1 billion naira committee. I know he also has another committee in charge of his wardrobe. By the way, wardrobe committee, in case you are listening to me, please, can you spice up his outfit? Yeah, get him some nice suit, Yes, like this one. It's been long that we see him in something like this. I mean, I like the traditional thing, but after a while, you get tired of seeing him in the same thing every time. I'm serious. He wears the same thing every time. Yes, we're tired of seeing him in the same thing. Yeah, so please get him some suit. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Very soon, he would need a committee to look after all his committees, Like my brother, Dr. Damages, has been saying on his Twitter page. He always has good quotes, so you should visit him. So it looks like our lives as Nigerians, especially if we are not influential, you know, if we are not somebody, our lives are not valuable to him. And the international community that he's trying to impress can see what is actually going on. I mean, the US released a statement condemning how Nigerian government has been handling things, you know, with this mass killings. They also said there is corruption in the Nigerian government. So we're the ones that think that the world doesn't know. They know. By the way, Jonathan responded to the USO. He responded though when they accused him of not taking care of things. He responded. He said that the corruption report by the US about Nigeria was amplified. In other words, that it's not as bad as the US is saying that it is. Yes, he said the death figures were exaggerated. That it's only 30 people that died. Is there anybody out there that doesn't believe Mr. President? Yeah, all of you. SSS is coming for you. You know me, I believe whatever this man says because, you know, I don't want any trouble. Have I ever said anything contrary to whatever Mr. President says? Never. Somebody with a PhD, please. Shame on all of you that doubted him. By the way, in his response to the US, he said that America failed to recognize that his administration has done a lot to curtail corruption in Nigeria. You know, that word really touched me. I mean, tossed me. It touched me. I was really tossed. I said, how can America not see that this man is trying his best? That he's truly fighting corruption, especially the way that he pardoned Alamisia. You see, isn't that enough evidence for America to know that this man is truly fighting corruption? Anyway, all that I'm saying is that when Nigerian officials tell you something, believe them. Like last Saturday on SaharaTV in New York. Remember that 2 men came on SaharaTV and they talked about several atrocities committed by the Obasanjo administration. These men said that they were aides for Obasanjo, that Baba Yabo used to send them to bribe people. They said there was one time that they gave Bola Ige 50 million naira bribe. They also said Obasanjo kept a killer squad that Abacha used to have. You know that Obasanjo's media person released a statement like some days after that Obasanjo has never met any of these guys before, that he has never met any of these men, even though we all see pictures of these men with Obasanjo. But you know, maybe our eyes are deceiving us. You know, we should just believe whatever Obasanjo says. I know you saw the pictures, but yes, forget about it. For some reasons, these people think that we are stupid. He's never met them before? Seriously? I love Nigeria. Too much drama. Away. Now that Boko Haram has been granted amnesty, you know, I've been thinking. I said, what about other quick criminals that we have in Nigeria? You know, people that stole cell phones or people that stole rechargeable cards. You know, they arrest them too. Yes. And people that didn't kill anybody. People that just maybe stole chicken or market thieves. Because we have many of those people in Kirikiri prison. What about all those people? Don't they also deserve amnesty now that we are giving to Boko Haram? In fact, all the criminals in Nigeria, all the Yahoo boys, I mean, don't they all deserve amnesty now? I mean, if people can kill thousands of innocent people and they get amnesty, and people who embezzle hundreds of millions of dollars, hello, can also be pardoned by Mr. President. Why are we arresting the small criminals now? Why are we arresting those who didn't kill anybody? Are we saying that some people get special treatment? My people. I'm waiting to see how we will navigate through this junction where we are right now in Nigeria. And you know me, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I'm just keeping it real. So I'd like to give a shout out to 2 African students, Mokta Dembele from Burkina Faso and Gerard Nyondiko from Burundi. Forgive me if I don't pronounce your names right. But these guys invented a malaria repellent soap using local herbs. They call it Faso soap. You know, both of them are science students at the International Institute of Water and Environment in Burkina Faso. And they were recently awarded $25,000 at the Global Social Venture Competition, a global competition that launches the next generation of social enterprise. So the best part of the story is that these guys are the first non-Americans to win this prize, the first Africans to win this competition. Now they're working on marketing the soap starting from Africa. I like what they said. They said we want a simple solution. because everyone uses soaps, even in very poor communities in Africa. The invention is a good example of how Africans are developing unique solutions to African problems across various sectors, from technology to healthcare. So I'm really proud of these guys. And according to the World Health Organization, in 2010, for example, more than 600,000 people died because of malaria. And 90% of malaria deaths worldwide happens in Africa. And the sad thing is that 85% of those who died were children under the age of 5. So these guys should be commended. Hopefully someday malaria will become history in Africa. I'm so proud of them. And you know what? I'm just keeping it real. Now moving on to Uganda, Mr. President Yoweri Museveni recently gave away 250 million Ugandan shillings. That is about 100,000 US dollars cash, in broad daylight in a sack. He gave the money to a partisan group of youth in eastern Uganda, where the people don't normally vote for him. And he also gave them a minibus, a truck, and 15 motorcycles. Yes, some Ugandans have been saying since then that such a gift, especially since he gave it to people that normally wouldn't vote for him, they're saying that this suggests that Mr. President is trying to buy them over ahead of the next election. Me, I don't know anything. They are arguing that even if he wants to give them money, that he's supposed to put the money in the bank and then write them a check like any normal president would do. They even said that there should have been a system in place that would make sure that these youth spend the money wisely before giving them the money, which they would fight over. But on the other hand, there are some people from Uganda as well that are saying that what Mr. Museveni did was good. They say that he's just being generous, that he's not trying to buy anybody over, and that he only cares about young people, young people of Uganda. One minister even said that giving the money in public, the way he did it, would ensure transparency because everybody could see it with their koro eyes, unlike sometimes that the government would promise to give money and never deliver. So there are two sides to the debate, but me, I don't want to get in the middle because I don't like wahala. I don't like wahala. I mind my own business. Yes, so I was minding my business as usual. Yes, until I read in the paper that this man is stealing from public resources. I said, what? Wait a minute. I thought, Museveni started well now. What happened? Even before he became president in Uganda, he helped to overthrow Idi Amin. You remember Idi Amin of Uganda? Yes, he helped to overthrow that man. And since he came in power, he has brought relative stability and economic growth to Uganda. Yes, a country that has endured decades of government mismanagement, rebel activities, as well as civil war. So what happened? What happened now? I think I know what happened. Yes. This man has stayed in power for too long. Yes, that is the problem. My people, when someone stays in power for too long, they start to misbehave. They start to do sky. Just imagine. He's been president since 1986. 27 years. My people, 27 years under one man. And he's won every presidential election that they've had since then. The first one that they held was in 1996. This man won the election. He won the one they held in 2001. He won the one they held in 2006. The one they held in 2011. He won everything. I said, what is the essence of holding election? Why hold election when the guy is not willing to step down? And besides, before the 2006 election, he changed the constitution and removed the presidential term limit so that, he can be president for as long as he wants. He can keep running for president. I say, you see, this is what African presidents do. And those who oppose this, the Uganda police routinely block them from holding rallies. Now, every year, the presidency fights with the lawmakers because the presidency finishes the money allocated to his household before the middle of the year. He finishes the money. And then he would ask lawmakers to pass, supplementary budget. Do you know that lawmakers approved $23 million for the president's official household in the last budget? And let me tell you that already the presidency has spent more than $74 million. That is more than double what they were allocated, right? And I know that they will need more even before the end of the year. And what does he spend this money on? Oh, I forgot. I forgot that he has 2 official residencies. Yes. What do you mean he doesn't need 2 residencies? Are you a president and you don't know what it's like to be a president? The man flies in a Gulfstream private jet. Yes, and in fact, this year he added 2 brand new Mercedes-Benz limousines to his motorcade. Not only that, he spends huge amount of money on brown envelopes, bribe. That one is actually very hard for Ugandans to keep track of because the brown envelope is usually sealed, so nobody knows exactly how much he wastes on that. But as you can see, he just gave out $100,000 to some people, so he clearly doesn't give small amount when he gives bribe. Now, I think you guys should know that not long ago in Uganda, teachers were protesting because their salaries were not paid. Yes. In fact, some teachers in Bukomansibi district were not paid for like 8 months. 8 months. Imagine. And they have families, they have children, they were not paid. And those who were paid said that they only got half of their salary. Meanwhile, Mr. President is giving away $100,000 cash, which is why many people see this as an effort to stay in power at all costs. This is the same problem all African countries face. Once our leaders taste power, they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. Not just the men, no, even our so-called first ladies. Many of them, they are iron ladies, my people, and they want to remain in power by fire, by force. That reminds me of the former first lady of Ethiopia, Azeb Mesfin, the one that refused to leave the palace when the new prime minister was elected, after her husband died. And they had to beg her, say, madam, I beg now, you need to leave the palace. Do you know that this woman is now contesting for the post of the mayor of Addis Ababa? Yes. I guess all the robbery that they've been doing through the party company, the one that she has taken over, is not enough. So they are now opening yet another door for her to loot the country. You know that she is known as one of the most wasteful African first ladies. She's been accused of siphoning off millions of dollars from Ethiopia. Remember that in 2011, she reportedly spent 1.2 million euros on clothes, yes, designer shoes, Gucci bags, designer gowns, and perfumes that no one has ever tried to count because it's just too much. And her net worth is like $3 billion. Since she took over the party's company known as the Endowment Fund for the Rehabilitation of Tigray, this woman has taken huge loans from several banks in Ethiopia, about 10 billion birr. That is Ethiopian money. That is about $540 million. That is how much loan she has taken from several banks. This woman took loans from the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the Development Bank of Ethiopia, and the Business and Construction Bank. Yes, these banks are practically going bankrupt. But all of that is not enough. Now she wants to be mayor of Addis Ababa, and then walk her way to the top. You get what I'm saying? She wants to be prime minister eventually. Yes, that is what she's trying to do. Just like her late husband, Kai. I heard that she came fourth, in the Kisko's district. Yes, when they had the election. But many Ethiopians are telling me, despite that, they may still crown her the mayor. Yes, but we are waiting to see what happens. But what do I know? I'm just keeping it real. So, moving on to Kenya, a referee by the name of Martin Wakesa is suing the National Football Federation of Kenya for 158,000 euros. And I don't blame the guy. I don't blame him. You know why? In September last year, during a soccer match between some Kenyan youth teams, this man was the referee and he decided to remove a player from a team known as Sparky team. So he removed that player from the match during a pitch invasion. Now, the coach of that team got angry and he's really angry. So he came to the referee and immediately he told him, hey, do you know I can kill you in 1 minute? I can kill you. This thing is not funny. This man grabbed the referee's thing and his testicles. He grabbed it and he refused to let the man go. He kept squeezing it so hard that the referee started crying, begging for mercy. Just imagine a grown man crying. This man did not listen. He kept squeezing it until a policeman came and rescued the guy. Anyway, after they rescued him, the man couldn't walk. So they took him to the hospital, for treatment. But guess what? Since he came back from the hospital, yes, he said that he's not been able to, he's not been able to do it. Yes, he's not been able to do it with his wife. See, wahala. Some of you are laughing. This is serious issue. Do you know, even his wife testified. She said that they used to do it all the time and and that they used to live as normal husband and wife. But now that their lives have changed.
I was kicked, knocked, and I tried my best to defend myself, but I could not manage. He pulled my testicles. He actually pressed them, and I was crying, and I could not even get myself out from his hands.
You see, Kai, it's very, very sad. That coach is wicked. He's very wicked. How can you know, of all places on the body, why must you grab, Kai? That coach, he's very wicked. Do you know that the coach pleaded not guilty in court? He is very, very sad. Anyway, I'm really hoping that this guy, that they will give him the money. But there are some things that money cannot buy. I'm really hoping that someday he'll be able to do it again. I don't like to talk about people. Yes, I'm just keeping it real. Before I leave today, I like to read some of your emails. The first one is from Aka Igu. He says, I love watching your show, Adeola, especially the one on Labaran Maku's good governance nonsense. I traveled to Aba with my family in January of this year, and the road that leads into the city was surprisingly good. It looked like it was recently repaired, and my wife and I were wondering why the residents of Aba were complaining about bad roads until we came to the end of the good portion. So I was told that the good part was the route that the good governance team took when they came to Aba. The money I spent to fix my bumper and other parts of the car during that short visit was more than I spent in maintaining the car the whole of last year. Mr. Igu, thank you very much for writing. It's very sad that we do this all the time in Nigeria. Whenever an official is coming to visit, we fix the roads, we would have electricity at that time, we would have water. Why would somebody want to help you when he looks like things are going well when he visits your place? But let's say that when they come to visit us, we let them see exactly the way things are. For example, if the Nigerian president is coming to visit your state and you normally don't have power, I don't think you should have power for the time that he will be in that state. If he stays there for like 3 days with no electricity, I think he would find a solution to the problem in your state. If they get in too many potholes, maybe they will know what you guys are going through in your state, Okay, the second email is from Daniel McComan from Belfast, Ireland. He says, There Adeola, thanks for your recent broadcast about Eritrea. As an Eritrean, I'm very much troubled by the brutal tyranny reigning in my home country in this very difficult and trying time. It is gratifying to see that there are other Africans who really care about my country and my people. Thank you. Well, Daniel, thank you for writing. We're all brothers and sisters. We just have different names, which they call countries. I think whatever is going on in one African country, that other Africans as well should be concerned. We're all brothers and sisters, which is why we need to keep talking about all these atrocities. But thank you. The third email is from Muhammad Shitu from Qatar. He says, Adeola, you really are keeping it real. I wish you the best in all you do. Keep it up and God help you. I'm a Nigerian residing in Qatar. I can't wait to see the next episode. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Shitu, for writing. I so much appreciate it. I get a lot of letters of encouragement from so many people. I'm sure that many of you have received my response. So please keep them coming. I'd like to know what you think about the show. The next email is from Adebayo Oladoye. He says, Hi, Adeola. I don't think corrupt Nigerian officials should be denied visa to these advanced countries. He says, I believe that Nigerians abroad should negotiate with the countries of their residency to issue these corrupt officials visas and then have them arrested upon entry to face justice. After all, there is no justice in Nigeria for them. There's a lot of sense in what he's saying. I mean, if not that Ibori was arrested in London, I don't think he would be arrested if he were to still be in Nigeria till today. Or either they would have arrested him and pardoned him, So what he's saying really makes sense. But while I'm on that, I got some messages from some people saying that they don't know where to go and sign the petitions that I talked about. This is where you would find the one for the Nigerian officials about the visa thing, and also so you can copy down this link. And regarding Ethiopia and the ethnic cleansing, this is where you would find the petition to fill in order to stop this atrocity from going on. And the next email is from Ediri Puluchuku from Netherlands. He says, Adeola, take it easy, My Dutch girlfriend almost collapsed from watching one of your videos, dancing to my Oga at the top. That's all. Eddie, thank you very much. Please don't let her collapse. But I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying the show. And on that note, I think that's all. I'm gonna read as well. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Adeola Fayong. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.